Hi guys, welcome back to ET Live. I'm Deidre Behar, and today is such a special day. I am joined by a two-time Grammy nominee who has sold a casual over 15 million records. You know him, he's a legend. It's Craig David. Give it up. Yeah!
Thank you. How are you?
I'm so good. We're so thrilled to have you here.
Thank you.
You're a busy, busy man. We're going to toss to a really quick clip of your new song, which is Hot Fire. Check it out.
Each other, I know you know me too. We're all stumbling through the night, but it's paradise in our minds. I know you.
So we just heard a little snippet of Craig's current single, I Know You, off your new album, The Time Is Now.
Yeah.
Congratulations. How does everything feel? This is your 7th studio album.
It's amazing, you know. It feels like the first time.
Yeah.
That's the, and I didn't know if like there would be an album that would like feel just like when I first started off, but the time is now feels like that because I'm just gone back to being very childlike when I make the record. You know?
Childlike?
Yeah, it's like I was 17, 18 when I made the first album.
Yeah.
Wasn't thinking anything about where it was going to go, what it was going to do. I was just like, I just want to make great songs. 7 million albums later, there was something in there. So I think just go back to that frame of mind. Yeah, I'm 36 with a wealth of wisdom and experience. So
Amazing. You guys, if you haven't picked up his new album, it is fire. So many good, you know, classic R&B sounds, but like very infectious new kind of vibey, dancey songs. It's amazing. We want to include you in the conversation, so make sure you are sending us your questions. Craig is gracious enough to answer a bunch of them as they start coming in. Now, I have a few questions of my own, obviously.
Cool.
I'm such a fan. I grew up, like many of our viewers, listening to you. And now you've kind of transitioned to a more mature, kind of current sound. Obviously, you don't want to sound exactly like you did in the year 2000. What inspired this album? You know, what kind of made you put pen to paper and get in the studio?
do you know what it was? Is that when you realize the impact that some of the earlier music had had on people. I mean, when someone's saying that they graduated and that was the song that they were listening to, or they met their partner, or go one stage further that they got married to their partner and that was the song that they listened to, and you think this is more than numbers and statistics and defining yourself by how many records you sell. I'm very grateful for every single record, and I'll never be any more humble about that situation. But to know that there was a chance to create that all over again, and to be a timestamp in my friends who were kind of now with me, who are experiencing this with me, but for a new generation and people who grew up with my music to be like, you know what? Wow, this song, and I Know You, like you played, is going to be somebody's song that they met to, or they went to the club to, or they went on holiday to, and I think it's just unbelievable.
Oh, it's so vibey. Like, that is the perfect song to play if you were going to go out, have a fun time, hang out with your friends. But, like, what is inspiring you? Is it art? Is it music? Is it people? Is there something specific in mind?
You know what it is? It's I just want to, I've got this sort of strong realization that I just want to empower people. I want people to realize that with everything that's going on in the world, and you can look on your Twitter feed and you can read up and think that the whole world's going to come to an end. There's always something, there's like very negative kind of, but then I'm trying to turn people into, you can put some music on and you can close your eyes and you can be like,
yeah,
life is okay. Or you can be with your friends and you can listen to a song and you're having a good time together, which is what I Know You is all about.
Yeah.
It's inclusion of being, it doesn't matter where you are, it's just being with the people you care about. I just want to empower that, because if you don't balance it up, it just feels like the weight of the world is on you. It doesn't have to be like that.
No, it sure doesn't.
And I'm all about trying to give the positivity through our music.
Well, I can't take credit for this, but I love this quote that I read. Craig David is still the king of making music that puts a smile on your face.
I mean, that in itself is like, what a time to be alive.
Right?
It genuinely, like, and I say this, and I say this in so many different interviews, it's like, when you realize the impact you're having on people's lives, it's so much bigger than the kind of me, the ego of, where did I chart? How many streams did I get? I'm grateful for all of that. But when one person comes up to me and says, I listened to this song and it, say Walking Away from back in the day, this helped me get through something. Or they'll listen to the new album and they'll be like, you know what, this makes me feel good, makes me smile.
Ultimate compliment.
Isn't that what it's all about? You know what I mean?
Yes. There's so many standout tracks on the album. Is there one that is your favorite?
I mean, I love I Know You for many reasons. I just think that working with Bastille,
Yeah.
which was on paper, people were like, how's this going to play out? I think it just was so nice to have a record where it felt like we both fitted on the record and no one was trying to be a little bit too far out of their comfort zone. And then the drop, when it hits, it's just people are just like, ooh, okay, you went
Wasn't
there, as
expecting
opposed
that.
to the hands in the air thing. And it's been so well received everywhere I've gone. So then now being here in America and seeing like the same thing happening is the most fulfilling thing. I'm so grateful.
I read that it was very organic the way that you and Bastille linked up. It wasn't like labels or agents forcing you in a room together. Talk to me a little bit about that.
Yeah, I mean, I met Dan and actually some of the other band members from Bastille when we were actually at a festival. And then we were talking about like working on their mixtape that they do on a breakfast show in the UK. And then we didn't get around to doing that, but then next thing you know, I was in the studio starting to, the bare bones of I Know You was starting to be formed with a lovely musician called Ts5, who's my acoustic guitarist from back in the day, and a lovely girl called Karma Reese. And we started to write the song, and I was like, but you know what? Dan would be amazing if he could be part of this from the start. I called him up, and he's like, yo, okay, where are you? I'm in London, right? I've got this tune. I think you'd be amazing. I'm in South London. Where you at? He goes, I'm in South London. I goes, cool, but where? He goes, I'm in Fulham. I goes, I'm in Fulham. And I was thinking, you must be in the studio the way that you're talking. Next thing you know, he literally was 5 minutes down the road. He came in after his session. The first song we wrote was I Know You, and it was the last song to be finished for the album. So like,
Just
all
like that.
stars aligned, you know, it was perfect.
Wow. Your fan questions are coming in. I want to start asking a few.
Okay.
Katrin from Facebook wants to know, who would you most like to write a song with?
Wow, to write a song with. I'd love to be in a room and write a song with Beyonce. I just think it would be epic to hear where she'd approach the songs, because she's an amazing songwriter, but then vocally she can just kind of like just
do everything.
Yeah, she's incredible. But I'm talking about, but if we go early Destiny's Child, when it was the Say My Names and the Bills, all that fast kind of stuff, Beyonce bodies that, so I think it would be amazing to hear that.
So you came up around the same time as Beyonce. I have to imagine you met or linked up at some point. Have you met her?
Yeah, I met Destiny's Child like many a times. At that time, when Fill Me In was released, they were just releasing Say My Name. And the irony of everything, because I mean, Say My Name is my go-to Destiny's Child tune. In the UK, when that was released, it was released the same week. And that was my first #1, Fill Me In. And #2 was Say My Name.
Wow, so right there together.
It was just, and it wasn't to be like, oh yeah, look at me, I had a #1. It was more to think, this is Say My Name.
My favorite
Destiny's
song.
Child. And so it was amazing, a great time.
Have you seen her since?
You
You gotta put the buzz in her ear. We gotta set up a session.
This is the buzz. You can't get any more of a
Beyonce.
buzz on this, you know what I mean? And then have Jay-Z come and rock a little 16 bars on that bad boy, and we've got it locked.
Oh my God, goosebumps.
Their tour's going to be fantastic, though. I mean,
It is.
Yeah.
I'm going, are you?
Yeah.
Of course. Joseph from YouTube, how long did it take you to create this album?
It was very short, you know. It was like, if we condense all the days down, probably 3 months, because once I came off tour, I was just like, I need to get in the studio. And then when you're on a flow creatively, it's so easy. It
pours
really is.
out.
Yeah, you have to force it. So.
Amazing. Katie wants to know, first of all, Craig, you look fab.
Oh, thank you.
Would you ever want to collab with someone like Ariana Grande or Justin Bieber?
Yeah, of course. I mean, I've watched Justin grow into the young man that he is now, and like it's incredible to see him be able to own it in the way that he is, because I think a lot of us try to kind of understand how someone could actually be in the spotlight like he's been and be able to hold it together and come with the music and still kind of keep it relevant and keep it fresh. So I've got a lot of time for Justin. And Ariana Grande, I mean, her voice, I mean, that's...
It transcends.
Yeah, so I mean, if I got the chance to work with these artists, and they have to be organic, you know. I always feel like it's when you meet someone or they're a fan of your music, which Justin's shown so much along the way. I mean, he sampled Fill Me In on the Recovery record that he did, and then I did the Where Are You Now instrumental using Fill Me In, and then it became 16 on my last album. So there's been a thing from afar, but put us in the studio and make it happen. You know?
Let's make that magic happen soon. You know, just talking about what you just said about Justin Bieber, you know, you became famous around 17, was it?
Yeah.
Same time as him. Do you almost feel like a little bit of empathy? You know exactly what he's going through, being under this microscope and having so much interest in your personal life and having so much interest in what you're doing outside of music. Can you relate to that?
I mean, I think on a different scale. I mean, for I mean, Justin Bieber like was right at the cusp of social media kind of kicking in, where you were able to kind of really kind of see what someone's doing 24/7. Where I was just before that, so.
Are you grateful?
Very much so. Do you know what I mean? There's things that I love about it now. My connection with my fans is amazing. Look, we can do this, and I can talk to millions of people at the same time. I can tweet someone back and say to you directly, thank you. I can see a video of people turning up on Instagram and they're playing my song, and I just send them a quick message before they go out. And they're like, no, did you see Craig? He just sent me a message. And you think, it took me 20 seconds to do that, and you've made someone's day. Totally. But I've always felt I've been quite grounded and been able to enjoy the journey without it being just too out there. Do you know what I mean? But now I'm a lot more grounded in myself anyway, so I can pretty much handle anything.
If there had been social media when you were 17, 18, 19 years old, what would we have seen? Or maybe the better question is, what did you avoid posting? What did you avoid with the whole paparazzi mayhem that we have today?
Do you know what it was? It wasn't really, I was never one to kind of like really turn up at the places to kind of, to get the paparazzi thing anyway. Because I always felt you could balance that. It's like if you didn't want to be seen by paparazzi, then just go to the local restaurant. But if you go to the one where all the paparazzi outside, then that's what you get with it. Also, you want the red carpet love from paparazzi, but then you don't want them to kind of, it comes with the territory. So it's a choice that you make. And I think for me, I never really got myself into situations, even back then, that I'd be like, you know what, ooh, do you know what I mean?
Hope they don't catch this moment.
Yeah, do you know what I mean? It's just like, I just think I was always, I just want to make music. I just want to be a studio. I just want to create, you know what I mean? So.
Yeah, the consummate musician, truly you are. You know, you came up at the height of what I call like the TRL era. Britney, NSYNC, Craig David. What do you miss most about that era, and what do you miss least?
I think that at that period of time, things were a little slower. So I think that the artist development was a longer process. Artists had almost a better chance of kind of being able to be ready for when it hit. And I think now there's a lot of music that's released. I mean, you got your New Music Friday every weekend. There's like a whole chart of music coming out, and sometimes artists can get lost in the mix. And I think that but then saying that, there's the artists who have got all the opportunities to be discovered through social media and through their YouTube pages and their Facebook pages, and we didn't have that before. So I think that back then, being able to do the groundwork and to all my mistakes and things I made when I was in the clubs, performing and DJing, and then the needles skipping, and me having to fight or flight, pick up the mic and freestyle while my other hand's trying to get the vinyl and put on. All these little things allow me to be comfortable to handle anything now in a digital age where you've got the sync buttons and you can do your thing. It's cool. I think that's something that you can't bypass, is the real kind of experience of things. So it's kind of a 50-50, you know what I mean?
The real deal. Are you one of those artists that begrudges when people ask or want you to play your old music?
I love it.
You love it. Because a lot of artists are like, no, listen to my new stuff. Let's focus on the new stuff. But, you know, you obviously have a nostalgia factor for a lot of people who want to hear the new hits, but also the old. No problem for you?
No. They're all like children to me, you know? And it's like, you wouldn't sort of say, oh, yeah, I'm going to disown this child because I've had a new child over here. So it's the same way. It's like they're all my children and I love them equally. Some will go off and do better than others. Yeah. And that's the kind of the beauty of me making the new music, is that, or when I do a Ts5 show, is that I'll still drop 7 days, or I'll play a Walking Away maybe over Dr. Dre, still Dre instrumental, but then I'll flip it to I Know You or Magic or Nothing Like This. So I keep a good balance with it.
You do. Yeah. I want to throw up a clip really quickly. This is footage of Craig DJing in Ibiza. This party is no joke. Kind of walk us through what we're seeing here.
Do you know what? This is a pool pie residency that I have in Ibiza. This will be the 3rd year going, so I've got a 12-week residency this year.
Yes. How crazy do things get?
Do you know what it is? What's amazing is that we've been able to create something that's just very different for the island. I mean, the island is so well known for amazing DJs going and performing, but as an artist who is predominantly known for being with my band or acoustic with a microphone, to then be able to take that into a DJ element and incorporate all of it, where I'm singing one of my throwbacks for 7 days, but then I'll do I Know You, Bastille tune, then I'll come out the booth and do a freestyle over Cardi B instrumental or over Walking Away over Dr. Dre, then come back, mix a couple tunes that you love. to keep it as a focal point of being a performance, I think, and in the middle of a pool party, I think for me it's been such a huge step in the right direction of where the DJ performer can go, rather than you can have a huge DJ playing, but sometimes people are like, they're having their drinks and they're at the table and they know there's a huge DJ playing, but they're not necessarily engaged fully. And I felt like we could create that lane where there's a performance element too, to add to the amazing DJs that are out there.
So TS5 is now, we've taken it to Ibiza, thousands of people. The origin of it, though, has a really interesting story. Tell me about it.
Yeah, I mean, it really stems back to when I was the DJ with the 1210s before Born to Do It. But then when I moved out to Miami maybe 5 years ago, I started throwing a house party simply because I was going to the clubs a lot and I was a little bit over the kind of elitist thing of here's a red rope and this divides us, and inside here, VIP, this is supposed to be where it's all at, and everybody's worshipping the wooden table with a bottle of vodka on it like it's crazy, and you're just thinking, but why is the person out there having the best time ever? They haven't got drinks spilling all over them, and they're just space, and they can go to the restroom when they want, they can go to the bar, and I was just past the kind of fooling myself that this cramped up kind of thing was where it was at. So I started throwing a house party because I wanted everyone to feel VIP. And I always felt that house parties were where you could get the great music, there's drinks on tap, I had food that was going on. And I just invited friends, and friends started inviting friends of friends, and then I had like a security on the door with a guest list because it started to become this thing in Miami. And I was DJing and I was playing tunes, and I wasn't even singing my own songs until someone would come up and say, oh, please, can you sing that? Can you sing Rewind, or can you sing Fill Me In? And I'd be like, oh, really? And they'd be like, yeah, come on, it's my favorite tune. So I'd grab the mic and I'd give it some Fill Me In, and then it started to become what we now know as TS5, because I took it to the UK, did a little 250 capacity venue to test it out, sold out real quick. Then we did 1,500, then we're at 3,000, then we're at 5,000, then we jumped forward to 17-day arena tour, and then we were like at Glastonbury, which is like the Coachella.
Of course.
100,000 people, pyramid stage, doing what I did in my home. We started off as 10 people with a couple of shots of tequila. So it's like I've seen it.
My goodness.
Go, so.
Can you just clarify, what is TS5?
So in the building that I bought, my apartment, they had a tower suite level.
Oh,
and then there was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And
got
mine
it.
was 5.
So a lot of stuff went down in TS5.
Yeah, TS5 was just where, it was the spot. I mean, it was
How
hard.
many stars passed through TS5?
Do you know what? There was quite a lot of people who did come through, and the thing was, I was getting quite waved when I was like DJing, because I'd have like a lovely bottle of tequila there waiting with the shot glasses good to go, and people would come into my home and I'd give them a toast, because I was trying to be the hostess and the mostess.
I need you to drop a few names.
Well, those names, I want to keep it. That's the beauty of it being so exclusive, is because of me coming up like, yeah, these people came through, but trust me, there's a couple of people that you'd be like, rare, that person come through.
Come on, give us one.
No, we'll hold back on that one.
Oh, he's good.
But the shots were going down thick and fast. So even if there was someone who was like top boy, and there's been a couple of DJs who were like, yeah, let's do a little back to back. And I'd be like, well, I've already had 5 shots, 6 shots, 7 shots, 8 shots. This is your first one because you've just come in. So I was fooling myself. And I'd be like, no, give me 2 seconds. Then looking back thinking, damn, did I just tell?
Wow.
Yeah, so it was wicked.
It was the spot.
People had a good time.
Okay, so you're busy. You've got your album out. You've got TS5. I want the fans to get to know you a little bit better. I want to play Spill the Tea with Craig D.
Okay.
You ready?
Spill it out.
Okay. Who are Fill Me In and 7 Days written about?
Fill Me In 7 Days. To be absolutely honest, like I was 16, 17 years old.
Yeah.
When I was writing that. I was in my bedroom overlooking this car park, and I just had a lot of aspirations and goals. Like there was probably a girl, but I can't remember necessarily her name for Fill Me In, but there was definitely that situation of creeping around behind the parents' backs. And
who can't relate to that?
do you know
Come
what I
on.
mean? Yeah, and I mean, I would like jumping in the 4x4, but I mean, man didn't even have a driving license, so I wasn't jumping in anything. Or you're gonna jump in the jacuzzi. I mean, the only thing I remember in my flat was like a bathtub. So it was the creation. We were
Aspirational.
There you go. You know what I mean?
Yes. Is there a popular, I know you write all of your music. Most of your music, all of your music.
No, I write all my music, but I work with a lot of really
Different
good
people.
producers.
Is there a song that came across your desk that you passed on that became a hit record and you wished you hadn't?
I know that at the time when 7 Days was out, we were looking at remixes, and I was sent this backing track from Irv Gotti. He was doing all the Ja Rule stuff on it,
yeah.
Shanti. So I had this track and it was like dun 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 dun. I was like, ooh, and it was a Notorious B.I.G.
Yeah.
One More Chance featuring Faith Evans, the instrumental. And it was exactly the same as the instrumental that I already had in my record collection. So I was like, okay, well, I've already got this. I'm not sure what I'm going to really do with this. So I was like, it never really happened. Couple of months later, I hear, see, my days are cool without you, but I'm hurting while I'm with you. And I'm thinking, what? That's my favorite instrumental ever anyway, yeah. But to
Wow.
hear it then, and it was Ashanti's Foolish, and it
Yeah.
ended up being like a huge record. It was just one of those moments where I didn't see the potential of where I could have taken it. But in all fairness, it was amazing that Ashanti then took it and had a huge record hit with it. So it was just one of those like, wow, that could have been the remix to 7 Days.
Wow. What if it had been you and Ashanti instead of you and Ja? Or sorry, instead of Ashanti and Ja?
Who knows? But the thing is, I always say this in life, is that there's always, like we know, there's plan B and plan C. It's always A. Do you know what I mean? A played out exactly the way it did. Do you know what I mean? And thankfully, it allowed a huge successful career for Ashanti. She had great hits anyway.
Yeah,
Always
amazing.
On Time and Ja all had big hits. So that was a great moment.
Awesome.
So it was an interesting one.
I love it. You're British. Obviously, we're talking so much these days about the royal wedding that's coming up.
Yeah.
Are you and Harry mates? Can we expect to see you at the wedding?
Well, I wouldn't say like we're mates. It's not like we haven't been like hitting each other up on WhatsApp recently, but we have kind of been in the same places at the same time. And listen, if I got invited to witness one of the most the biggest talking points of modern history when it comes to the royal family, it would be amazing to be there, because I feel like it's a beautiful couple, and it's great to see that they found love, and I just feel like it's going to grow because there's a generation who are going to discover the royal family in a slightly different way. Do you know what I mean? I think it's a really good time for Meghan and for Harry, you know what I mean?
Absolutely. Have you had a chance to meet Meghan? What kind of addition do you think she'll be to the British royal family?
I've never met her, but from the backstory that I know of, from my vantage point of seeing it, she just seems like a really lovely, lovely girl who's got so much potential to bring a lot of the kind of out, because Princess Diana really kind of fought for her causes, and she kind of like felt like she was a voice of the people. And I feel like Meghan's got that and Harry's got that, and I think that's why I'm saying that for the new generation, they're going to see this and be like, wow, you're really activist, you're really out there like talking for us. Do you know what I mean? And
Was number 10. J-Lo, Ain't It Funny was top 3.
Right.
Oh, we're getting feedback.
That's nice.
No Doubt, Hey Baby. I mean,
What was that? Dun, dun, dun,
Hey Baby?
dun, 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 dun. Remember that tune? I really don't care. I really don't know what you.
all right, we're back. We temporarily lost our signal. Technology can be annoying these days.
Where it plays out.
Craig is a good sport. We're going to finish out our Spill the Tea with Craig D, and then we're going to let this gentleman go because he's got a big show in LA tonight. So, in 2002, March 2002, your song 7 Days peaked on the Billboard charts. Okay, it was number 10. Around that area, we had Jennifer Lopez, we had Shakira, and we had Gwen Stefani. They all had really, really big singles at the same time as your song. Shag, marry, kill those 3 ladies.
Right. Here we go. So, like I was saying, before we got the divine intervention came in, which was like my angels had me. They were saying, listen, you know that little box that you try to create yourself with this little game? Take yourself out of the box here, right? And therefore, you just say that I love all 3 of them, and it's just love all through. There's not one or the other or the other. Do you know what I mean? It's just the way it has to be.
This guy's the most positive person I've ever met in my whole life.
You know what I mean? I've got nothing but love for all 3 of them. Seriously, they're amazing.
Speaking of love, you have said that you're at a point in your life where you are eager to find your soulmate and you would love to have children someday. What's the status on that? Have you found somebody?
No, but like it's, when you meet your twin flame, like it's not, you can date and you can think that you're on it. There's something different when you meet someone. If you've seen the film Serendipity.
Of course.
Well, then you saw how it plays out for both the characters. When they met, they knew something that was a twin flame situation, and maybe timing's off. So my thing is to never really force it or to kind of keep looking, because it will hit you one time where you're just like, I know. Somehow I feel like I've known you for years and I've only just met you, and that will happen. So it makes life quite exciting when that's about to happen.
You have so many adoring female fans. What is it that catches your attention? What is it you're looking for in a mate?
I just need someone just who's comfortable in themselves, I just want them to be the most authentic you, not to conform, not to try and be anything different than what you are, because that's what makes you beautiful. And I think that's kind of a metaphor for everything in life. Do you know what I mean? It's like, be the authentic you, and you're unique. There's only one of you. As soon as you try to conform to social standards and what they try and tell you that you should be, then you fall into sort of the quagmire, as they say out here. But but it's just be you, and I think it's beautiful when you see someone owning themselves. You're just like, wow, that's empowerment.
And that's what you're attracted to.
Yeah, it's amazing.
You've been famous for, my goodness, 20 years at this point. Yet I feel like we haven't seen a lot of your personal life play out in the press. Was that by design? How were you able to keep your relationships, your dating life kind of under the radar throughout the years?
I mean, I'd like to think that it's just that to respect my other or to respect the situation, is that I've always been kind of very low key, because I think if you're really trying to enjoy time with someone, or you're going to enjoy something, for it to be kind of like out there and for everyone to kind of be seeing it, then it's more theatrical. It's a play that you're doing. If you want to have a really intimate, lovely meal, then you find somewhere that's really intimate and you have a lovely meal. If you go to the places where it's going to be kind of explode and there's going to be loads of people and it's the hipster place and well, then that's what comes with it. Do you know what I mean? And I just find that I want quality time. And then if I feel like turning up and I want to be, then I'll do that too. Do you know what I mean?
I feel like it's inevitable that your children will just have music and songwriting running through their veins. What do you see for yourself in terms of family?
Deep down inside, I mean, I feel like I'll always try and bring out the best in, hopefully when I have children, and the best in my partner. And just like I said, it's back to that authenticity. Is I just want to encourage anyone, and if it's my family or it's like my future wife, children, just to be you and to follow your intuition and follow your dreams, and to not try and put you in the box that you saw me jump out of earlier on, because that's the playfulness of life. And I've realized that what I'm doing now with my music is I'm being playful again, and that's why people, when they're watching, can feel an authenticity in what I'm saying. I'm not trying to hear, hey, I've got a new album, please can you go out and buy it, It's like, okay, cool, we know you've got a record and it's called Time's Now, cool, we'll find it. But when they believe you, there's a difference when you perform and where you are with people. So I'm all about that.
There was a really cool moment that played out the other day, and I was watching online. Bebe Rexha and you met recently.
Yeah.
And she was asked about it, and she got a little giddy and started blushing, and she looked at the camera and she was like, he's single. Have you seen that?
I love the way you reenacted it. Yeah, I saw it. She
seemed
she was
down.
sitting next to me. I saw it clearly. No, I think it was kind of asked about, we were in Dubai, and we were doing in a big like movie theatre, kind of like a little sort of press conference before the show that we did there for Red Festival.